What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here's Legitical Response, and once again, we're on the Corporate Press Express. We got another AP article. These people, once again, like I said the other day, they're hitting 10 for 10. They are hitting on all cylinders. They are pushing the lies. As a matter of fact, Trump is surging, so these people have to push some sort of narrative. They have to get something out there to try to turn that push for Trump down. They gotta try to counter the surge that's going on in the polls, the surge in Trump's popularity. In other words, these people, they have to do something, and it's coming from left field, I guess you could say. Check this out, y'all. U.S. says Iran moving forward on key aspect of developing a nuclear bomb. Wow. Now, you might be thinking, how the hell are they going to blame this on Trump? The corporate press has its ways, and you know they love to twist the narrative, folks. So let's get into it. Iran is talking more about getting a nuclear bomb and has made strides in developing a key aspect of a weapon since about April, when Israel and its allies overpowered a barrage of Iranian airstrikes targeting Israel, two top Biden administration officials said Friday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, speaking separately at a security forum in Colorado, said the United States was watching closely for any signs that Iran had made a decision to pursue actual weaponization of its nuclear program. However, Sullivan said, I had not seen a decision by Iran to move in a way that signals it has decided to actually develop a nuclear bomb right now. If they start moving down that road, they'll find a real problem with the United States. Ooh. Sullivan told reporters at an Aspen security forum, which draws U.S. policymakers, journalists, and others. Iran resumed its progress on its nuclear program after the Trump administration ended the U.S. cooperation with a 2015 deal that gave Iran relief from sanctions in return for allowing tougher oversight for the program. There it is, folks, because the Obama administration gave Iran the tools and everything they needed to develop their nuclear power plant program, and that Donald Trump saw that as like, okay, you're giving these people the technology to make a nuclear bomb. I'm sorry, I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm going to pull us out of this deal, and I'm going to sanction the shit out of Iran. As a matter of fact, under the Trump administration, if the corporate press was being honest, was going broke, Donald Trump had pushed them, economically into a corner. They were broke. And what did the Biden administration do but come out and give them $6 billion, go right back into that deal, and allow Iran to continue its nuclear program? And they're trying to blame this on Trump? The corporate press has gone way too far with this one. This one, the American people are never going to buy this. You might have some really low IQ people, but the really low IQ people don't read shit like this. But this is going to be fuel for some pundits who, like Destiny and other people, David Pakman, as a matter of fact, Brian Tyler Cohen, to latch on to this and say, oh, Jake Sullivan said that it's Trump's fault. Iran is going to build a nuclear weapon and destroy everybody. Let's blame this on Trump. That's what they're going to do. And then these low IQ people are going to go and disseminate this information to their friends, to their family, to try to make Trump look bad. But that's what I'm here for, folks, to counter that. So if you hear somebody come out with this, show them my video. Prove to them, show them that, look, this was enabled by the Obama administration and re-enabled by the Biden administration. As a matter of fact, Trump tried to destroy everything that's going on with this by pulling out of that deal. It was stupid then. It's very stupid now. And by God, if anything comes out of this, if they do develop a bomb, if they do choose to use such a bomb, which it's almost certain that they will, because they're insane And, when you got a country like Iran that wants to wipe us off the map, and will openly state that, openly call for violence, openly call for the genocide of America and the genocide of Israel and all these other places, it kind of makes you wonder, why would the Biden administration enable this? Why would the Biden administration give them $6 billion and not sanction the crap out of them like Trump was doing? As a matter of fact, Biden, to his credit, did keep some of those sanctions that Trump put on the Iranian administration, as a matter of fact. But it's like how the corporate press twists and turns in their narrative to get to such a place that they can try to blame this on Trump is just outright funny. It's outright insane. And once again, they are lying, folks. Iran says its nuclear program is for civilian purposes. The U.S. and others in the international community believe Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei long has held off from giving any final go-ahead for Iranian scientists to develop a nuclear weapon. But Iran's poor performance with conventional weapons on April 13th, when it launched its first ever direct attack on Israel as part of its day-long exchange of strikes, has had observers watching for any increased Iranian interest in pushing forward with a nuclear weapon. At the time, Israel said the United States and other allies shot down 99% of about 300 missiles and drones launched by Iran following an alleged Israeli strike that killed 2 Iranian generals, right? But that was just alleged. According to Iran, it landed on a traffic circle and nobody was hurt. What we've seen in the past 2 weeks and months is Iran actually moving forward on developing fissile material, Blinken said Friday during a panel talk. Fissile material could be used to fuel a bomb. That's one of the old school style bombs. That's like the Nagasaki style. Fission bomb, not a fusion bomb. We don't use fission bombs anymore. That's very old technology. We use the thermonuclear or fusion bombs these days. But, if they are creating fissile material, the only reason they could be doing that, right? You don't use fission for a nuclear power plant. So the only conclusion you can derive from them creating fissile material is that they're trying to make a bomb. And Jake Sullivan and Anthony Blinken saying otherwise is intellectually dishonest. He blamed the decision by the Trump administration to pull out of the nuclear agreement. Wouldn't he? Trump called the deal defective at its core when he ended U.S. participation in 2019. Instead of being at least a year away from having breakout capacity to produce fissile material for a nuclear weapon, they're probably 1 or 2 weeks away from doing that, Blinken said, adding that where we are now is not a good place. That it's the mental gymnastics used to try to blame this on Trump, when it was the Obama administration in the first place that gave Iran the tools, the materials, the scientists, the information needed to start their nuclear program, for God's sakes. How are they blaming this on Trump? It makes absolutely no sense. It's one of the most retarded arguments I think I've ever heard. It's so dishonest coming from the corporate press. So dishonest coming from the Secretary of State. It's just like, wow. How more dishonest can you get? This is intellectual dishonesty turned up to 11. Now, they haven't produced a weapon itself, but you put those things together, fissile material, an explosive device, and you have a nuclear weapon, he said. The United States was watching very, very carefully for any sign that Iran was working on the weapon side of producing a bomb, he said. The U.S. is also working on the diplomatic side to contain any further effort, Blinken said. Meanwhile, Sullivan said the U.S. had noted an uptick of public commentary from Iranian officials musing about that possibility since the April attacks and counterattacks between Iran and Israel and its allies. That was new. That was something that got our attention, he said. You think? But once again, of course, if they're making fissile material, guess whose fault that is? That's the Obama administration, the people who started this whole thing in the first place. They were warned. The Obama administration was absolutely warned. right? And they thought that, right, like allowing them to do it and giving these people the technology to do this and having UN officials come in to oversee all their progress on the nuclear power plant program would be okay, right? Like they can't do anything in secret. Like they can't take this technology and go over here in a mountain somewhere because they have a lot of those and just start on their nuclear weapons program, right? Just giving them this technology and then expecting them not to do something in secret. That's what the idea was. Of course, that's liberals for you. That's what they do. And that's why their policies are garbage. That's why their policies are stupid. And that's why their policies don't make any sense. They think, oh, if we make a law that says murder is illegal, nobody will commit murder. It's the most ridiculous argument, right? Like, it's just so stupid coming from these people. It makes no sense. They think, oh, we'll get rid of the cops and people won't commit crimes anymore for some reason. Defund the police. We need social workers to go out. We need a psychiatrist to go out when a man is beating his wife. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry. People sometimes come off the hinge, which would be unhinged, and they do stupid and evil things. In such a case, you need somebody with a gun with overpowering force to go in and contain the situation. You can't have a psychiatrist come in and talk somebody down from beating on their wife or murdering a bunch of people or robbing a bank. It makes no sense, folks. Just because you make a law that says this is illegal doesn't mean that people won't do it. Communist California has proven this outright with all their shopping sprees, right? Oh, well, congressmen and women will get out there and say, oh, well, these people are just hungry. Well, why are they stealing jewelry? Why are they stealing a bunch of clothes? Like, no, I'm sorry. These people are just insane. And their policies are garbage. And once again, like I said, they're trying to push the narrative that this is Trump's fault for seeing a stupid idea and backing away from a stupid idea and saying this is dumb. We're gonna make sure that they can't do anything economically. That's what Trump did. And Trump had pushed Iran into a corner until the Biden administration comes along. And then once again, now they're funding all their terrorist proxies to set the Middle East ablaze. And that's what they've done under the Biden administration. Were they doing this under the Trump administration? No. Not to the extent, not nearly to the extent of what they're doing it now. As a matter of fact, I do believe that Trump eliminated ISIS for the most part. And guess what? You didn't hear about ISIS for a while, and now ISIS is starting to rear its head again. I wonder why that is. I'm not trying to blame all this on Biden. I'm blaming most of this on Obama. And whoever his advisors were that thought this was a good idea, that it was a better idea to just watch over these people to make sure they don't do anything evil, instead of taking away their ability to do it in the first place. It's just outright insane, if you ask me. And once again, the corporate press hitting on all cylinders, but the narrative is not going to work with me, folks. Let me know what you think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.